What up, though? It's Lamont Howard, aka Tank, aka the Knowledge Bank, and this is Attitude is Everything. Hey, look, I want to thank the Collective Action for Cultural Unity for inviting me to come speak today. It's about to go down. If you believe that you got to get your mind right before you get your grind right, and if you believe that your attitude determines your altitude, make sure you like this video and make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, today I'm about to be talking about how to put yourself on in 2018. Stay tuned. We about to get it in. Let's get it.
Progression, that's progression. I stay down with all my balls, now that's progression.
Believe, self-motivate, increase your value, network, and apply. I feel like that's very important, and you have to really believe in yourself.
It was a very impactful speech. It was really powerful. The main thing that he talked about was setting goals and actually trying to achieve them by writing it down, making sure that we holding ourselves accountable.
Really what it's about is encouraging and motivating our fellow students at CMU to put yourself on. What resources can you use on campus yourself to get to where you want to be next?
Attitude is everything. That's huge for me, just because you never know who's looking or when you're around. So present your best character around anybody can link you with somebody that you never know you could have linked with. So.
What up, though? How everybody doing this evening? Good. Y'all ain't near loud enough for me. What up, though? How everybody doing this evening? Okay, that's a little bit better, man. Third time's a charm. Let's get loud. When I say what up, though, you say what up, though. What up, though? What up, though? All right, that's what I like to hear. All right. So my name is Lamont Howard, aka Tank, aka the Knowledge Bank. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. That's where I was born. I was born at Sinai Hospital. I was growing up. Oh yeah, shout out. So growing up in Detroit, Michigan, I felt like my parents, they always got me everything that I needed, right? They gave me love. They gave me encouragement. They made sure I was fed. They made sure I had clothes on my back and a roof over my head. But as far as getting the things that I needed from my parents, I never got the things that I wanted. Whoever felt the same way growing up, raise your hand. See, growing up, I felt like my parents, my mom and dad, they always gave me the things that I needed, but not the things that I wanted. I went to school and I see the kids with all the new Jordans on. I wasn't getting them at all. You know, I went to school and the kids was talking about how crispy the PlayStation 2 graphics was. I was just getting a Nintendo 64. You know, all the kids was wearing True Religion G's and stuff. I was lucky to get Levi's, all right? Everybody had the iPod Touch. I was lucky to get an MP3 player that had the batteries in it, okay? So I always wanted to have the financial wherewithal to provide for myself. But not only provide for myself, but provide for my family as well. Because growing up, little did my parents know, I used to hear those conversations and those arguments that they used to have when they were arguing and bickering over finances, when we were having financial struggles. I overheard those talks when they were talking about if they didn't know if they were going to be able to pay the light bill or the mortgage, you know. And from that, it instilled a hunger in me to want to, like I said before, not only provide for myself, but provide for my loved ones. So growing up in Detroit, you're only presented with a few different options to do that, right? To go out there and make money, to go out there and do something significant, to go out there and provide for not only yourself, but your family. I'm going to go over those few ways that I was presented with growing up in the city of Detroit. One way was going out there and getting a job, which I see a lot of people wasn't getting in the city of Detroit, and some people that even got jobs, they weren't satisfied with those jobs, okay? Another way was go out there and be a drug dealer. And see, I didn't want to get into the drug dealing because I didn't want to go to jail and I didn't want to get killed. You feel me? Another way is being a rapper or an actor. You know, I'm really not an entertainer. And another way was going out there and being a pro athlete. Now, who growing up, I know some, who growing up wanted to be a professional athlete growing up? Raise your hand. See, I got a few of them out there. Growing up, I wanted to be a professional athlete. And why did I want to become a professional athlete? I wanted to become a professional athlete, a professional football player per se, because I will be able to be financially free. I will be able to make a large sum of money. I will be able to not only support my lifestyle, but pay for my family and help my mom get a house, help my dad get a car. Do something significant for the city of Detroit, like go and volunteer my time there. Travel around America and see different cities. Volunteer and build things. And actually, I always had a dream to play for the Detroit Lions or win a championship for the Detroit Lions. That'd be something positive that the city of Detroit will love. So I always loved football. That's what I went for. By the time I was 12 years old, I moved away from Detroit to Belleville. Moved to Belleville, Michigan. That's where I ended up graduating high school from. And I'll tell you a quick story real quick about how I got the nickname Tank. When I moved to Belleville, I love sports. I absolutely love sports. We didn't have a lot of options for sports, especially in middle school. in Detroit. So when I moved to Belleville, I had the option to go on in the 7th grade and 8th grade, be on the football team, the basketball team, the wrestling team, and the track team. So let's go right there. One of the first days of football practice when we just got all our full pads on, right? 7th grade, I'm lined up. We all doing hitting drills. It's a guy right there. I'm right here. I'm lined up, all 5'2" of me like this, down low, ready to hit. I got the ball in my head. The coach said, hit. I go, boom, completely ran the dude up and put him on his back. Everybody like, ooh. Everybody say, ooh, ooh. You feel? Laid him on his back just like that. That's how everybody was, right? The coach looked at me. He was like, get over here. I'm like, did I do something wrong? I thought I was supposed to run the ball and put the dude on his back. You know, I thought that was a good thing. I went over there, and he looked at me in the eyes. He was like, from now on, your name is Tank. And it stuck with me. It stuck for the rest of life, you know. So I always been a jock. I always been an athlete. I really never took my education seriously. I always thought that my way out was playing football. That was always my plan A. I did not have a plan B. I ended up not taking education so seriously that when I graduated high school, instead of going to a Division I college to play football, I went to Division III college to play football because I didn't have the grades. I went to Defiance College in Defiance, Ohio, and I played football there at the Division III level. I loved playing football, but the place, it just wasn't for me. Like Belleville High School, we had 2,500 students there. At Defiance College, we had 2,000 students. I felt like I was in high school all over again, just with dorm rooms, you know? So I had to get out of that situation, and I transferred here to Central Michigan University. When I transferred here to Central Michigan University, I continued to pursue my dream to become a professional athlete, working out every single day, going to the SAC, going to the IAC, working on my speed, working on my strength, working on all areas of how to get better to be a better football player. When I went to try out for the football team in February, though, I didn't make the football team. I was completely devastated, and I didn't know what to do with my life. My nickname is Tank. That's what everybody know me as, you know, being an athlete. And after my life was devastated and I didn't make the football team and I didn't know what to do, I started hanging around the wrong people. And when I started hanging around the wrong people, I started doing the same things that those people was doing because I was surrounding myself with negative people that were doing negative things. And I ended up getting in financial trouble with the police department up here at Central Michigan University. And also, I ended up getting in financial trouble with Central Michigan University itself, using two forms of identification too many times. Y'all know what that two forms of identification is, don't y'all? Raise your hand if you know. That's when you go to the bookstore and you use two forms of identification. You can get you some headphones or a t-shirt, you know, stuff like that. So I had a tab to play Central Michigan University. I also had a tab to play the city of Mount Pleasant. So after I got in trouble, don't you know, in May, everybody, they leave and they go home for the summer. About 95% of the campus population literally leaves, and Mount Pleasant becomes a ghost town. It's literally silent around here, nothing. And I was up there during that time. It was literally the worst summer of my life. I had no friends up here, and I actually took on a job so I could start paying off these debts that I had, hanging around with these bad influences. And I was working at a factory, second shift, Sunday to Sunday. 3 p.m. to 11. It was horrible. 7 days a week, right? So I went from having these dreams and these goals and aspirations from being a football player, going to the NFL, making a large amount of money, being able to support my family, being able to do something positive for the city that I'm from, to working in the factory. And when I was working in that factory, I got a wake-up call in the morning because as I'm sitting there working, making $8.25 an hour, although it is people that are hired into that factory making $13, $14, $16 an hour, stuff like that. There were people that were temps, just like me, making $8.25. Those people that I was standing next to and working with was 30, 40, 50, 60, some even 70 years old. And I sat back and I thought like, wow, if I don't get my act together, if I don't get my mind right so I can get my grind right, I'm going to be in these people's same position. I told myself I don't want to be 30, 40, 50 years old working in some factory for minimum wage, what these people was. I'm like, dang, they're getting the same amount of money as me, $8.25 an hour, and I know they got a mortgage to pay for, a house note, bills, children. I ain't have none of that stuff. So I sat back and I'm like, wow, I could really take advantage of the future and the time that I have being young. And that night I went home and I asked my Heavenly Father, I asked our Heavenly Father, I asked the Divine Intelligence, Yahweh, God, whoever you call them, I asked them to lead better people in my life, more positive people. People that were actually doing something with their life. I was getting tired of hanging around the same people that was doing nothing. Smoking and drinking and partying all the time. Going to the same party with the same people. Playing the same video games all the time. It was boring. I was the person sitting around my circle that was always like, hey, what can we do to come up on $1 million, y'all? What can we do to help people to make some money? What can we do to do something significant? Oh, how about take this shot? Nah, bro, I'm good. I asked the Heavenly Father to surround myself with more positive people. And that happened for me. That happened for me. I started to meet people, and people started to come in my life that were my age, that were entrepreneurs. That were my age, that was reading and writing books. That were my age, that were literally running real businesses. These people that I started surrounding myself with, that I was blessed to meet, they wasn't sitting around talking about the problems that were going on in the world. No. They were talking about the solutions to those problems. And not just talking about the solutions to those problems that we have in the world. They were talking about, and actually not just talking about, they were putting into action towards solving those problems. Now when I put myself and immersed myself with this group of people, my whole mindset changed and my whole life changed. Because I realized that you are the average of the top 5 people that you surround yourself with. When our mom was telling us that birds of a feather flock together, they wasn't playing. Okay? So the people that I was surrounding myself with in the past, they determined and influenced my decisions. And when they determined and influenced my decisions, they influenced the results that I had that I wasn't satisfied with. And I realized that these people, these young men and young women, they had the results that I wanted in life. I was talking to a dude back then, I was 19 years old, he was 21, he was already driving a Mercedes-Benz from his business. I was talking to a girl, she was already in college still like a junior, already making $100,000 a year. And all this stuff, all of these things were from helping people. I'm thinking like, wow, how can I get that? How can I do that? So, I started to read books. I did not read my first book until I was actually 20 years old. Can y'all believe that? I made it all the way through middle school, high school, and some in college without reading a whole book front to back. Without reading a whole book. When I finally read a whole book front to back, wow, my mind literally just opened up to the world and the possibilities all around us. And I became a believer. I began to study the law of attraction, you know. I began to study the law of compensation. I began to study people that are wealthy. Not people that are just wealthy financially, no, not just with the money, but people that are wealthy physically with their body. People that are wealthy spiritually with their relationship to our Heavenly Father. People that are wealthy in their relationships with other people. All assets of wealth. And as I started taking this information in, I became a business owner just like my friends. As I started to take this information in, my whole life and mindset started to change. And I realized that your attitude is everything. And that's why I started. Attitude is everything. Your attitude determines your altitude. Your attitude and how you view something, your perception, determines your direction. So, what I came here to talk to you about today is how to put yourself on. How to put yourself on in 2018. 2018 is the year. 2018 is the year. Now, who had some struggles in 2017? Raise their hand. Okay, we all had some struggles. I had some struggles in 2017 too. Now, who ready to break free of those struggles of 2017 and boss up and get what we deserve in 2018? Right? Now, it's time to leave those things behind, those negative things back in 2017. It's time to boss up and it's time to put ourselves on. So what's the number one step to putting yourself on? I wrote down here, belief. You have to believe. You have to believe. Believe in what? Believe in yourselves. Believe in yourselves. Can't nobody do it better than you. There's an idea inside of you, deep inside of you, that you haven't even written down on a piece of paper yet, that you cannot even articulate yet. And that idea can get you $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion. That idea can change the world. That idea can spark a fire inside of someone, and that somebody can change the world. So believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Nobody else will. You know when people don't believe in themselves, they walk around all timid with their head down like this. Hey, how y'all doing? My name's Tank the Knowledge Bank. No, believe in yourself. Because when you believe in you, other people believe in you. Yes, and if they do not believe in you, just keep on going. Because someday they will. Stay persistent and stay consistent. So when you develop that belief inside of yourself, now it's your job to take it to the next level and keep that belief. How do you keep that belief? Through self self-motivation. There's two different parts to self-motivation though. You have internal motivation and you have external motivation. That external motivation is the thing that you're working on right now, okay? But that internal motivation, ooh, that's so important. That's so important. You see, we must manage the voices and the thoughts that's going on inside of our head that are there to stop us in our tracks, okay? We have to take those negative thoughts and those beliefs inside of our head that we're thinking, and we have to self-motivate ourselves from inside. We have to have a fire inside and think like, wow, I really do want to make my mom proud. I really do want to make my dad proud. I really want to accomplish this thing that my teacher said that I couldn't. I do not know what motivates you internally because I am not you, but think about that for a second. What motivates you internally? What is that thing that's inside of you that when you think of it, it just fires you up and it gets you ready to do that homework? It gets you ready to go for that workout. It gets you ready to eat the right thing because you know it's going to get you the body that you desire. What's that internal motivation? And after you gain those internal motivations, the next step, get some external motivations, okay? Put some things around you that you can look at and see and touch physically that can motivate you, okay? You're working on one of those things right now, a vision board. I have a vision board in my home. Ooh, it helps out so much, okay? I also have a goal card. What's a goal card, I heard somebody say?
That was me.
This is my goal card. As you can see, it's inside of my cell phone. I keep it next to me because when I touch it, I believe it and feel it even more. It's coming to me. I wrote this down Sunday, April 30th, 2017. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm excited to read it to you because this is coming into fruition every single day of my life. My goal card says, I am so happy and grateful now that I have financial freedom through positively affecting as many people as possible, showing them and teaching them to be creators of their own circumstances. You all are creators of your own circumstances. You are not creatures of circumstances, okay? Put different things around you to motivate you. Make sure you have something inside of you to motivate you. When you hear those negative voices inside telling you that you can't do it, you have to stand up inside of yourself and say that I can do it. And if you do not have the ability to do it yet, you have to tell yourself that I will learn the right things so I can do it the proper way. Self-motivation. It's very, very important. Now, what's the next step towards putting yourself on? Increasing your value. Increasing your value. The amount of money that you get paid is a direct correlation to the amount of service that you render. What values do you have? What makes you valuable? Now, one thing to think about increasing your self-value, first you have to know about what you have right now. Put yourself on a scale. Think about it. Either take out a piece of paper, take out your cell phone, go to your notes. This is a very good exercise to do. And I want you guys to start writing down and typing in all the good things that you have going for yourself. This is an exercise that I do that when I'm down, when I'm not feeling good, it helps me. I can go back to this list and I can feel good. If you got a great smile, write down that you got a great smile. If you got great hair, write down that you got great hair. If you're a great athlete, write down that you're a great athlete. If you know how to rap or speak, write down that you know how to rap or speak. Okay? If you're a nice person, write down that you're a nice person. Take value of yourself from where you currently are. Write down all the good things about yourself. All of them. All of them. And then, after you do that, you now have to realize where you are currently and get better. It's time to increase your value. If you want more in life, you must do more. If you want more, you must do more. You see, we all came here to college to make money. Who came to college to not make money? Raise your hand. See, I just wanted to see how many hands I could not get raised in that question. Because I know we all came here to make money. Money is not evil. And money is not the root of evil. It's the love of money that's the root of evil. Don't let people make you feel bad that you want to make money. Don't let people make you feel bad that you want to make money, because the amount of money that you make is a direct correlation to the amount of people that you serve. The more people that you serve, the more money that you earn. Now, is there anybody that can think of someone that has made a tremendous amount of money from serving people? Anybody? Okay, I named one. Madam C.J. Walker. If you know who Madam C.J. Walker is, raise your hand. Madam C.J. Walker was the first self-made female millionaire in America. And what Madam C.J. Walker did, she created a hair product that helped women keep their hair growth the right way, the natural way. Okay, give them the right things that they need. Madam C.J. Walker, she was born into slavery. A lot of people didn't believe in her. And I bet you she didn't have a lot of self-motivation coming from those things, coming from that background. But she kept persevering and she stayed consistent in that thing, okay? And once she see that she was losing hair herself, Madam C.J. Walker, she had a scalp disease and she started to lose hair. She created a product that helped herself grow hair, and when she seen that it was working on herself, she started to serve others, going door to door, knocking on doors, giving it to other people. It's all about service. Steve Jobs provided us a service with that iPhone. Bill Gates provided us a service with that internet. Henry Ford provided us a service with that automobile. What service is inside of you? How can you serve others? How can you serve others? And how can you increase your value that you can serve others even more? Next thing on how to put yourself on is networking. Your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. Just flat out. And when it comes to networking, we have to start reaching out to people. Now I know sometimes we prejudge people. We don't talk to them because they white. We don't talk to them because they from Asia. We don't talk to them because they're from India. We don't talk to them because they're from the Middle East. It's time to break down those cultural barriers, because I can honestly say right now today, if I didn't reach out and talk to people that was outside of my race, outside of my culture, I wouldn't be where I am today. I just literally learned how to make homemade pizza the other day from a dude that I work with that's from Israel. He's Arabic. If I didn't reach out and start to have a conversation with him, I would have never learned how to speak Arabic. You know, I would have never learned and had connections to now when I go over to Israel, I have a place to lay my head. You see, you have to reach out and you have to talk to different people because it helps you out so much. Your network is your net worth. Do not be scared to reach out and talk to people because they can benefit you. They can benefit you in such a great way. Like if there's something that you want to do in life, you know what networking can help you do? If there's something that you want to do in life, let's say you want to be a DJ, or let's say you want to be a doctor, or let's say you want to be a lawyer, or let's say you want to make movies. There's somebody, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, there's somebody that has accomplished that or some form of that. And it's easier to get that information from them, okay? Our experiences are great. Learning from our own experiences is great, but learning from somebody else's experiences is even better. You know why learning from somebody else's experience is even better? Because where they had fallen on the road and where they had messed up and made mistakes, they can let you know about those mistakes and roadblocks in the way. So where it has took them 8 to 12 years to accomplish something, you can accomplish it in 5 to 4 years. That's what networking can help you do. Network, people. Network. And the next thing, boom, apply. What's this information if you don't apply it? Y'all finish this. Knowledge is power. No, it's not. We've been taught wrong. Knowledge is not power. It is the application of knowledge that is power. You can know everything in the world, but if you do not apply that, you're going to get nothing. Now, when it comes to applying this stuff, think of applying these things like a Ferrari, all right? The 5th step, number 5, is like a Ferrari. You got the Ferrari. The belief, the self-motivation, increasing your value, the network, you got the Ferrari. You got exactly what you need to do to put yourself on. But you know what applying is? Applying is the gas for your Ferrari. If you have a brand new 2018 Ferrari with no gas in it, where you going? You ain't going nowhere. You ain't got no gas. Put that gas in, apply the information, put the information inside of your head, inside of your being, and use it. I didn't come here to motivate you. I came here to inspire you and help you to transform into the person that you want to be. And I'm here to tell you that you can do anything. Literally, you can have, be, or do anything because attitude is everything. Thank you guys, and I appreciate your time.